There is one passage I shared with you guys before I really loved, and it was 143. And I'm going to read it because it's so great. Dear young people, make the most of these years of your youth. Don't observe life from a balcony. Don't confuse happiness with an armchair or live your life behind a screen. Whatever you do, do not become the sorry sight of an abandoned vehicle. Excuse me. Don't be parked cars, but dream freely, make good decisions, take risks, even if it means making mistakes. Don't go through life anesthetized or approach the world like tourists. Make a ruckus, cast out the fears that paralyze you so that you don't become young mummies. That's M-U-M-M-I-E-S. Live, give yourselves over to the best of life. Open the door of the cage, go out and fly. Please don't take early retirement.
There's probably the shortest sentence in the whole document where he just says, live. And that's the whole sentence. And that's the whole document, right? Christus vivi means like Christ is living or Christ is alive.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Christ is alive and he wants you to be alive.
Yeah, he wants you to live to the fullness of life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that great call of Pope John Paul II, like, be not afraid, like, just go for it, and the Holy Spirit is with us.
One of the themes that, of course, would come up on in a document addressed to young people is the whole issue of dealing with our human sexuality. As he states in paragraph 81, young people are aware that the body and sexuality have an essential importance for their lives and for their process of growth in identity. Yet in a world that constantly exalts sexuality, maintaining a healthy relationship with one's body and a serene, effective life is not easy. For this and other reasons, sexual morality often tends to be a source of, quote, incomprehension and alienation from the church, inasmuch as she is viewed as a place of judgment and condemnation, unquote. Nonetheless, young people also express an explicit desire to discuss questions concerning differences between male and female identity, reciprocity between men and women, and homosexuality. So the Pope is certainly taking on directly some of the issues and challenges of our time in terms of dealing with human sexuality. I'm wondering if you have a comment on how that spoke to you.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that paragraph, actually. There's a lot in there. I think one thing I'd point out is he talks about how our world constantly exalts sexuality, and that makes it healthy, or that makes it difficult to live a healthy sexuality. I'd point out that, yeah, our society exalts sexuality. Like, we're so over-sexualized in the media, and if you've looked at a, billboard recently, their sexuality is just so in your face, especially through the media. But at the same time, we often get bombarded with this message like sexuality is nothing. Like, you can have sex with anybody you want, it doesn't really mean anything. And it's this double message that I think is really unhealthy. But I think that's what really tears young people apart when we're trying to live our sexuality in an integrated, holistic way. And we can't figure out, like, is sex really a big deal, like I'm told, or is it really just like this form of entertainment, or is it just like a pleasurable recreational thing like I'm also told? And often young people don't realize that they're getting this mixed message, and it can cause a lot of harm in the way that we live out our sexuality.
At the expense of a good emotional or spiritual growth, right? You know, one part of our totally integrated self becomes like emphasized at the expense of the other things that really do need attention. And so if we're seeing billboards of sexuality, but we're not getting a similar emphasis on our spirituality or emotional life or our social life or all those things. And it's good to work through our sexuality and try to figure out those answers and be open in discussion and give it attention, but not at the expense of all the other parts of us that also are developing, especially as young people.
I hear the Holy Father trying to force us to go deeper into the mystery of our human sexuality.